And uh-oh.
I hear phone
Oh,
ringing.
that's in the song, though.
Hey, it's
Oh.
Dariann. Sorry I missed your call. Be
Now
sure to leave
listen.
a message and I'll get right back to
Now
you.
listen.
Hey, beautiful. I know you're probably sleeping right now, and I'm not sure when I'll be able to call again. Everything's going good over here. I love you, and I miss you.
I'm already going to lose it.
Mhm.
All right. Listen to this, everybody. Here we go.
Like waves in the ocean are bound to the sea, crashing over and over into me. Two drops in the ocean and our love is key. Oh, if you ever wonder where I'll be, from sea to shining sea, you know you're out there fighting. I'm trying to be strong, gotta keep on moving, step after step, till I'm in your arms. 10,000 miles, never felt so far. My love is wherever you are.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Skip Happens, by the way. Skip Clark, the host. Deb Lamphere, the president and founder of the official country music fan club. And Miss Dariann Leigh is joining us here tonight. This is her.
Hello.
Listen to this voice.
Awesome.
Wow. And I want to know where that was filmed, by the way. As I'm looking at the video, you can't see it, but that's what's playing. And watching the waves beat on the beach, and you're underneath that pier. That is just almost looks like the Outer Banks, where I'm heading in a couple of weeks. Where was that?
Orange Beach, Alabama. So literally right on the line of Alabama, Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, you don't even know little places like that exist.
Right. It was just like I wanted to film it at the ocean, and it's literally only like 4 or 5 hours from Nashville. So I was able to get my videographer, photographer's game for any adventure similar to like I am. And I was like, I think this has to happen at an ocean. And he's like, I'm convinced, let's plan it out. So we did. We went there, and he had thought of a pier to be a beautiful spot. And we went there at like 5 a.m. and it was stunning.
Whoa. 5 in the morning?
Yes, very early. We did full makeup and hair very early.
Now, I'm saying that not only for that reason, but you being an artist, Dariann Leigh, everybody, you being an artist, you don't get up at 5 in the morning. I mean, your day doesn't start till 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
The day job doesn't really start till late, but there's some days we're up really early. Some days it's music video. You wake up at 4 for full hair makeup by yourself, doing it in whatever space you get and going to shoot a video.
Wow, I love it. And again, you've been with us before. It's been quite a while, but thank you for agreeing to come back on. We're going to talk about the new single, 10,000 Miles, which you just heard a little bit of a clip of that. And what a great song. Where are you? You're not in Nashville, I can tell.
No, not. I'm at my dad's desk right now in Minnesota.
and spinning in the chair, mind you.
Yes, we've got his fish sign behind me. So
I love it. Hey, he's a big fisherman.
Yes, he likes to fish.
And what does he fish for? Is it deep sea fishing, or does he go to like the lake?
He's done a little bit of both. Around here, it's obviously Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes. Lots of lake fishing, but lots of deep sea fishing as well. I don't know how he does it, but everywhere he goes, he catches a beautiful fish. That's
awesome. Let's talk about you. Let's get caught up. Of course, Dariann Leigh, as you can see, she's joining us here tonight on Skip Happens, and such an honor to have you on board with Deb and I, and to talk about your music. But let's go back. Let's just quickly review. When did you start playing music? Let's get some of the basics down. Then we'll come up to date and talk about the new single.
Yeah, I started playing music when I was really young. It was kind of the form of how I understood life in a way. I struggled a bit in school, and I had a hard time catching up with the other kids a lot of the time. And so my thing was making up songs and like cheerleading things to get through. So math equations, I made a song. Spelling words, I made a song. Whatever it was, I made a song. That was just how it was. So thinking back on it, I was writing music as a third grader in elementary school, just trying to get the 100% on the spelling test, And ever since then, it's kind of just been the way that I walked through life. And it just became really clear to me as I got older, especially nearing a graduation and things like that in 2017, that was the path that I wanted to take. And we've been doing it ever since then.
That just amazing. Go ahead, Deb.
Oh, no.
I thought you were going to say something.
No,
I heard
no,
you
but
take.
thank you.
I
No,
heard
I
you
was-
take a deep breath, and I thought, "Oh, here it comes."
No. Not yet. Give me a little time there.
No, exactly. How often do you get to go home like you are now?
I travel back and forth a lot. So it's kind of like, I feel like life is very much on the road a lot of the time, especially after this past year. It's been really different than normal, but it's kind of like an almost 50-50 situation most of the time.
So I missed the pre-podcast chit chat today. So are you in Nashville the other half the time working on your career? Yes. Okay. So when did you make the move there?
I'm hoping to make it actually in February. So I haven't yet made it. It's just been a lot of traveling back and forth. So hoping to make that official move in February. If not, maybe sooner. Who knows?
Okay. Fantastic.
Tell us about 10,000 miles and the phone call in the beginning that I forgot was there until I clicked it on. But I mean, I'm just saying. But tell us about that song.
Yeah, I wrote that song on, believe it or not, the bathroom floor of my hotel room in Nashville last February. And at the time, my boyfriend's in the Marine Corps, and at the time he was deployed. And so it was kind of a time where I was actually at CRS. So it was a lot of shaking hands, having like the best time. CRS is so fun. But it's the slow down moments when you realize, wow, the one person I want to call is 10,000 plus miles away, and I'm not sure if, like, you can't call whenever you want to, you know, you're lucky to get the satellite calls when you do. And so for me, it was a situation of wanting to discuss all these fun things that I'd been doing, but realizing I couldn't. And I was in a place of trying to figure out what the next song was going to be for recording and everything. And I'd been sent all these amazing songs, but something in me was like, I think I could write the song that's in my heart right now. And if you've never sang in a hotel bathroom, the acoustics are great, by the way.
I think we actually have heard that before.
Right?
Yeah, no, other artists have actually said that a room like that is pretty cool.
It's so great. It's like singing in an old church in a way, because the sound just kind of, it goes everywhere and it's so alive. But yeah, I wrote it a 25-minute write, which doesn't happen every single day. Literally the next day we put scratch vocals down. The day after that, the band was putting their sounds onto it, so full instrumentals. And the day after that, I was putting full lead vocals on. So it was like a 4-day thing, really fast moving. Welcome to Nashville, right?
Were you staying in the Omni?
No, I don't remember where it was, but I was that's where CRS is. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I would have said Deb and I were probably sitting at bar lines while you were upstairs in the bathroom, sitting on the floor writing a song. And so I was just kind of thinking, but then, no, that's interesting. And I forgot about your boyfriend is in the service. What branch is that again?
On the Marine Corps.
All right. Wow. Hoorah.
Yeah. And where is he now? Is he still stationed away?
He's actually out of the Marines now. So right now he's currently farming.
Really?
While he's going to school, and then once he gets that finished up, then he'll be moving out to Nashville with me.
Right.
You know, I see Tim is chiming in there. Obviously, you know who Tim is.
Yes.
Dariann knows about singing in old churches, because I was going to ask if you've had that opportunity. And I know a lot of artists do that. And they even do the recording session right there in the church, an old church.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been doing, my grandparents have an old country church that's literally right down the road from them. They live out in the country. And I'd grown up singing out there. My mom grew up going out there, learning how to play piano. And so she wanted me to go out there and just try singing and playing guitar. And they have a once a year kind of thing where people that went to the church come and they all gather together for a service and just kind of talking about the times when the church was active and everything. And I would always sing at that. There's a lot of people that'll sing that used to go to the church and everything. And it just kind of became a thing where I'd go out there and film videos in high school. And throughout quarantine, I was going out there often, actually. And my brother lent me his camera, and I'd film what I call church sessions out there. So I actually go out there pretty often and sing and do videos, or just for fun, just because the sound is so beautiful. You can't beat the classic of just the structure built for music is so different.
Go ahead, Deb.
I was just going to ask, what did you do with your videos once you recorded yourself?
Yes. I've actually made a full series out of it on YouTube. So I did like a Christmas series. I've done just normal covers, my own songs. I have like 8 videos still that I can upload. So I've done quite a few out there. And it's kind of one of those things of the videos is kind of just something fun to share for me that people enjoy. So it's so cool because people took in what I love. So it just made it even more special.
What was the single before this? Was it Wherever I Go, or was
it was 10 or before 10,000 miles, it was Let Me Go, but then it was also Wherever I Go right before that. Too.
I gotcha. Okay. I remember those. And we were able to play those here in Syracuse. So you're actually on your 3rd radio single right now, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty cool. And they're slowly going up the Music Row chart, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's got to be is it frustrating for you to watch that, or you just, and maybe you know enough that just let it take its own course and just see what it does? You're kind of chill about it.
It's really interesting because it's so different with every song, and even just in streaming, and how everything is so interesting and how it all goes so differently. And sometimes they can coincide and go hand in hand, and sometimes it's just completely different. And it's kind of fun. And at times you're like, oh man, just a little bit more. But it's kind of fun to like just see how it works its way out, because it seems to always do that. But I don't know. I think it's really cool. Just kind of sit back, trust the process, and just watch it do its thing. That's my favorite.
That's key there. Trusting the process.
Right.
Deb is a numbers person, and she usually, before we go on the air with an artist, she will look at their Spotify numbers and you know, all these different digits, and she's throwing them out there. I don't know if she did that tonight, but I know you got quite the following, so that's pretty cool.
No, her following's growing very, very well. I mean, I love the fact your Let Me Go song's like over 130,000 hits already. And to me, you know, you've got people that, of course, love the music, so they're going to listen to it over and over, and they're spreading the word to their friends, which in turn is getting your other music up there. So
yeah, it's been crazy, especially with Let Me Go. That was TikTok became a huge thing, and I kind of jumped on that a little bit with Let Me Go, and just watched that just take its whole entire way. It was really cool.
TikTok is amazing. I really think it's helped artists in a lot of ways that Skip and I really are not totally familiar with, because I don't think I haven't yet, and I don't think you have yet either. We haven't jumped on that TikTok train yet.
We need to, like yesterday.
I know.
Right?
No, exactly. We need to do that, and we haven't done that yet. They're calling you Little Shania. Somebody just called you Little Shania.
I love it. Shania Twain is my favorite.
Oh, I love it.
My all-time queen. I love her.
She just definitely rocks. I remember when she played at our New York State Fair, and this is when she was up and coming, and it was a lot of years ago, of course, but she was just out walking her 2 German Shepherds, and it was just like, you know, and she came right over and said hello and all. It was so cool. She's such a pretty lady, such a great lady, a voice that is just wow.
It's so unique.
Yeah.
It's indescribable in a way that it's so unique, and I think that's what makes it so special, and that's what makes a lot of people's voices special.
If you could collaborate with anybody, who would you like to do that with?
For me, it's always the hands down, like the 2 people I've grown up listening to the most, which is Johnny Cash, Shania Twain. But if I had the opportunity to work with like a multitude of people, I could just keep listing and listing and listing. Like I know so many other people could too. It's such a cool industry to be working in, and to have the option to work with other people so closely is really cool to me.
I love it. I love it.
You never hear Johnny Cash. I love Johnny Cash. He was one of my very first country artists that just turned me on to music there. So.
Right. First song I learned on guitar was Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire. That's a classic. That's a classic. Is the guitar the only thing you play, or do you play other instruments as well?
So I learned piano when I was a kid. Okay. I sadly don't remember much of it, but I played percussion growing up through 7th grade, or actually 5th grade through 12th grade in school. So I can play some drums, I can do that, but guitar is kind of my main thing these days.
I love it. And what do you So you're not doing much of the piano, so you always have a guitar around your neck.
Right.
So that's kind of cool. And let's talk about your shows a little bit. Have you been able to get out and perform?
Yeah, it's been crazy since beginning of July. I was out in DC for a private show for the 4th. And then
nice.
Since then, it's just been every weekend has been packed. Next week, we've got the 19th, I'm opening up for Joe Nichols at Happy Harry's Up North Fest. And then I'm at Winstock, and they've got Luke Combs and
Oh,
all
wow.
these really awesome acts. So I'm really excited for it because it's just cool to be able to have your name next to theirs. It's indescribable.
Have you had the opportunity to step on the Ryman stage yet and play?
I haven't. That's my lifelong goal, is to sing at the Opry and as well as the Ryman. I've toured the Opry, then you have the opportunity to step in the circle, but I was like, I don't want to until it's the time where I'm invited into it, not just the tourist grab a picture, whatever. I was like, this is too sacred for me to just step into voluntarily. I want to be asked, so.
Right. No, I get
It'll happen one day. We're working there.
I get it. Very cool.
I definitely see that happening.
Thank you.
Yeah. Being a young artist, like you, what if somebody's just starting out? What advice would you give them?
I think it probably sounds frustrating to receive because I've received it too. And it's one of those, well, duh things, but it's just taking that first step and just trusting, again, the process, but just trusting yourself as well. And just trusting that wherever the path that you're going to pave is the path that you were meant to pave in that moment. And just taking that step and just continuing to take step after step. And it's frustrating because it is just a slow roll at first. But once you get the ball rolling, it goes where it's supposed to.
Very cool. What does your hometown think about having a country recording artist?
Right.
I mean, do they come out? Do you play in your hometown at all?
Not crazy often. I've been so booked up everywhere else that whenever I'm here or even around, everybody's coming out, which is really cool. And whenever I'm here and home, it's fun because we go on bike rides a lot, my boyfriend and I, and you see people waving and then you see the double takes. They're like, oh, she's actually home, because people never know when I'm actually home.
Hey, Dariann's home.
Yeah, right.
We got to swing by and see what's going on.
Right.
No, that's cool. And you get out. You say you and your boyfriend do a lot of bike riding. Is that your main source of exercise? What's your day like? Do you guys work out together?
He's trying to convince me that running can be fun. I'm not yet convinced.
Well,
I grew up playing volleyball, and so the running is all the thing, whatever, but it was a lot more cardio, arms, stuff like that. And I haven't run for a really long time, and recently he's got me doing like a mile, and every time I'm like, I understand, physical health is great. We work out, whatever, but the running, it's taking a while for me to like it.
I hear it's really good. It's great exercise. I don't do it either, but I have a lot of friends that do it.
Right.
And to tell you the truth, I probably can't run a half a block. So
I'm horrible because I want to hold a conversation while I'm running. And then I'm so quickly out of breath because it's like, how can you hold a conversation while you're trying to focus on breathing the right way? It's a thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just, being that we're on the exercise topic, I was just curious, when you're doing a show, are you bouncing all over the stage? Are you more secluded into an area? Because you know how you see artists jumping all over the place, and I'm like, how are you singing and jumping? Because like Skip says, we can't even run, a half a block sometimes.
Well,
I'm the one that like moves a lot. That's I have a hard time standing still. I'm a sucker for a slow song. So you fit the right thing for the right song. But I'm the person that I played a show in Wisconsin. It was an after party. And I'm very specific if it's like a certain show, what shoes I wear. And I have one pair of heels that are very comfortable to be jumping around in. Which doesn't, that in the same sentence sounds really odd.
Yeah.
But, right. But my mom says that they need to put like a thing on me to see how much calories I burn playing a show like that where you're moving around so much, because I have a hard time staying still. It's just such a great atmosphere and the adrenaline kicks in and it's Energizer Bunny kind of.
So you're getting your cardio at your shows.
Exactly.
So you're doing your running just, on the weekends.
You need to get a Fitbit and wear it on stage is what you need, or something that's going to keep
that would
track.
be funny.
Yeah, and then you can keep track of your steps and your calories and all that good
Right.
stuff. But let's talk about you again a little bit more as an artist, and let's take it back a little bit. That very first moment that maybe you were leaving a radio station or doing whatever, and they played your song. What was that like? Explain that feeling.
I've been really lucky to visit a lot of radio stations, even from a young age, which was really cool that they would trust a young teenager coming in to do an interview and sing and stuff like that. And it was always hearing it in studio, but this past year I heard Let Me Go randomly on the radio while I was driving. And I was actually with my mom, and it was kind of cool to be able to share that moment with her because it was very unexpected. Like I said, it randomly played on the radio, and I looked at her and I was like, is this what I think it is? Like, is this actually happening right now? And it's one of those moments where it's like the universe kind of comes full circle. And it's so weird because it's unexpected, but it's so cool. It's so special.
You know, when it's unexpected like that, you hear it on the radio. That's a good indication. That's in a playlist.
Right.
That means they're playing that probably on a regular basis.
Right.
I'm just saying, I kind of have a little experience in that field.
I was going to say, you do.
So, and that's a great sign. But now we're on 10,000 miles.
Yes.
And I can see that being a regular on a lot of station playlists as well. How hard is it to get a song on the radio?
It's really intriguing to see the whole process. And I say that because, like I said earlier, it's so different every time. But I have a great radio promoter that is like, she feels like an aunt to me, Jennifer.
Yes. And
every time I send her a song, she's like, yep, we're going to go. I'm going to go to these exact places. These things are going to be set up, whatever. And every time it's kind of a roller coaster ride to have your song. Because for me, I write based off of personal experience and off of my personal life. And so you're kind of trusting this song, your personal life, into the world and hoping that they take it and latch onto it. And it's truly a roller coaster ride of a process, and just braving through the downs and trying to head back up, and the triumphs and the trials, and just letting each wave kind of take you as it can, and hoping that the next stride is higher than the last,
Can't let it get to you.
Right, exactly. Gotta keep moving.
You can't let it get to you.
So you have a good support team there,
yes.
Professionally. So going back to when you first decided that you wanted to do music as a career, how was your family with that? Because you are young, and a lot of times parents think kids are on a whim.
Right. I think they kind of knew that was where I would land regardless of any decision I made, because I went to college for a little while, and I think education is really important, and I wanted to get a big education and get the degree and all of these things. And for me, it just became really clear as I was sitting in my dorm room day after day, realizing that the life that I want is the one that I was saying I need a second thing to, like I need a backup to. And I realized if I spend my entire life chasing my backup, then I'm never going to get the first thing that
go
I
after
want.
your dream, right?
And so my family's been really supportive. I'm the youngest of 4. I have 3 older brothers. So
you're the only girl.
Oh my God, the baby and the only girl.
Yes, so even more added on to that, right?
But I bet your brothers are very protective of you. They're not going to let anything happen to you. So.
Yes, very.
And that's not a bad thing. It's good.
No, and it's great because if I need somebody to help me fix something or something like that, I've got numerous people I can call.
Right. Maybe this is none of our business. It probably isn't, but I'm going to ask anyways. The future with your boyfriend, I mean, just kind of any ring yet or anything?
No ring yet. Nope. We're clear right now.
All right, I'll carry on.
She's young yet. Young.
No, I know. But so you are the only musician in your family, correct?
Yes, my brothers all have sang before, and my eldest brother actually sings in church. He's kind of the one that really introduced me to the arts in a way, and got actually my brothers and I all into theater. So that's kind of where we all kind of got our first performances in. My middle brothers, I guess you could call them, they weren't really crazy into the stage thing, but my eldest brother and he's definitely been like the guiding force for me, and seeing that as a kid. And I think it's kind of a youngest child thing too. You see what your older siblings are doing and you think it's so cool. And then it just kind of graduated from there. So there's a little bit of music in there, but I'm the only one that's really pursued it.
I love it. What about stage fright?
I think for me, I was on stage at a really young age with theater. It was, they had a company come into our town and it was a 1 week thing. You got tryouts on Monday, performance was on Friday. So you had a week for a full theater production. It's typically like a Disney kind of production. And I wasn't old enough to be on stage yet, but my mom was one of the people that kind of helped keep the whole thing running behind the scenes. And I had learned there's a girls section of like a dance group. I had learned their dance, their lines, and their singing before they had by like the second day, because that's just kind of where my brain was triggered. And I would be doing it in the room, kind of off in the corner and doing the little dance moves and everything. And I guess the director had caught the girls looking at me for what to do. And I'm just like 5. And I literally was put in, and it's been ever since then. So for me, I don't get nervous too often, but if it's singing the national anthem, that's when my hand starts to shake quite a bit. Outside of that, I've got like my cool shoes on, but the national anthem gets me every time.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the national anthem. You're not the only artist. That's got to be the toughest, if not the toughest song to sing. Not one of the toughest. It is the toughest.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you mess it up just the slightest little bit,
everybody knows.
Everybody knows. And everybody's got their different thoughts on how it should be sung too.
Right, right. It's really, it's kind of, again, interesting. I say that a lot, but it is, because everybody has a different opinion, like you're saying. And again, if you mess it up, everybody knows. There's definitely a lot of pressure on, but I kind of think having 3 older brothers and being in theater and playing sports growing up, it kind of taught me to deal with the pressure. But yes, there's a lot of the times where I'm literally holding my mic with 2 hands like this, because if I hold it with one, it's literally like shaking like crazy.
Oh yeah. And how do you remember the words? Even though we all know the words, I get it. But how do you, like in that moment, whether you're singing in front of, a couple thousand people doing your own thing or singing the national anthem, how do you remember the words? Or you just kind of like close your eyes or just kind of block everything out?
That's kind of my thing. I ask for like reassurance. I just have like a family member be like, just say that I know everything and I'm going to be fine. And they're like, you know everything, you're going to be fine. And then I go out, I listen to the note really quick because I don't want to start on the wrong note because it goes so high and so low. And I just kind of hope, and I just sit there. And sometimes, I'm not going to lie, there is like the panic moment of, oh no, like what's the next thing? But I have to like kind of calm that back of my mind thought and just go with my instinct and just let my brain do what it knows how to do.
Yeah,
it's worked.
Yeah, I kind of wondered how that worked. And obviously it's working for you. It's just like, I think when I have to go and do presents at a show, and if I think about it too much, I'm going to mess it up. So I just kind of go out there and try to block everything out and stick to a thought and then build off that thought. So
yeah, that's why I think a lot of the times I always joke that, yes, my hands shake a lot, but that's kind of the thing that I focus on then is like, I think I nearly sing the song every time with my eyes closed because it just gets easier. But then it's also kind of like the moment of kind of blocking everything out and just trusting that I'm a well-oiled machine. I've done it time after time. I'll be fine.
I can do this. Exactly. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. Have you been able to sing the national anthem like in a major league ballpark or some sort of major sporting event?
I've sang it at numerous college league things, but I haven't yet sang it at anything like really huge. I've sang it at festivals actually, and that was probably the most nerve-wracking for me. Hockey rinks are really interesting to sing it in because the echo is really interesting because I'll be singing one lyric and I'm hearing the lyric that I just sang 3 seconds ago finally hitting the rafters. It's kind of like a mind game, and it makes it really easy to mess it up. But it's one of those just trust your gut, just go with it kind of situations.
Exactly. Tell us, let's kind of pivot here a little bit. Let's talk about your songwriting. Yes. You said, I mean, you do a lot of that alone. For example, you were telling us about putting yourself in a room, sitting on the floor and writing, even though it was the bathroom.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. I know, but you get that echo and everything. You get that sound. It sounds pretty cool. Right. But do you do a lot of that by yourself, or do you co-write with others?
I co-write a lot of the time, but there is the times where co-write for me is kind of a situation of I have literally my notes on my phone is full of song ideas. And so you sit down, you say what you want to do with the other writer or writers, whatever the situation is, and you come up with your topic and you soar. For me, I feel like the co-writes or the writes that I do by myself solo are very much just triggered in a moment of whether I'm sitting at the table having dinner or something and I have to take myself away because I have a thought and I need to go get it on paper and just sit with my guitar and go. That's a lot of the time my personal writes, but co-writes are definitely more planned out.
And how did the pandemic affect a lot of what you do? I think I already know a lot of the answer,
Right.
but then again, there's a difference. Everybody's got a little different thing going.
Right. It was, I mean, so much of us as an independent artist, especially, your work is mostly through social engagement, trying to get that social engagement. And it went from a lot of it being live shows and trying to get the social engagement to purely social engagement. And so did your rights, so did everything went on to Zooms or FaceTime. So rights were over Zoom, which I was doing FaceTime rights for probably a year or two before then. So it wasn't crazy for me to adapt to.
Okay.
But it was interesting to have every single right through FaceTime. But it was really weird because it could be very easily isolating, I think, especially when you're in your own space all the time and really only working through a camera or a lens. But I think everybody just tries to make the most out of it, you know, and just try to brave through.
And how did you survive during the pandemic? Were you doing shows online or, you know, have a Venmo account or, you know, some way of people could donate to your cause, so to speak? So,
right. Yeah, I was lucky to be able to do a lot of live streams and there's the Venmo tips, PayPal tips, whatever it might be, and able to do some actually ticketed live streams as well.
Nice.
And so all of that helped a ton. And just, I think being able to just have some way of continuing what I regularly do for a living and not just sitting at home and waiting for the world to open back up. It was nice to have a way of continuing to, like I said before, keep a well-oiled machine and everything.
And were you home for this entire time?
Yeah, I had just gotten home from CRS. I did a radio tour.
Oh, that's right.
From Nashville. Yeah. And then I remember I was literally sitting at home and I was like, I need 4 days at home just to catch back up on things after being busy, just to kind of slow down, laundry, whatever, personal life stuff, work stuff, whatever it might be. And then the pandemic hit. And I was thinking, I just wanted 4 days at home to get these things
Not a
done.
year and 4 days.
Right. I was like, at the time it was 2 weeks. And I was like, well, I guess 2 weeks, you know, I can make something work, you know, and 2 weeks, as we all know, quickly lengthened worth of time. So I found ways to stay busy and ways to keep doing what I love. I think I finished every home project my parents could have ever wished to be done, indoor and outdoor.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Did they have you cutting the grass and all that good stuff?
That was the only thing I didn't do, but I completely stripped and stained a deck, planted a garden. We were doing like, it wasn't light work. It was, let's get down and dirty and like get the jobs done here.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good. I get it.
I learned a lot too, which is important too.
It's better than sitting around doing nothing, as we would say.
Exactly. I think at some point we all went a little stir crazy and like literally did the most intense thing of I'm going to strip and stain this deck right now. And that's literally all day.
You know, you did that, and what we're doing here tonight, we really kicked it up a notch, all because of the pandemic. So it really did. It helped us out a lot as well. With the radio, of course, I was still going in every day, and I know Deb, you know, she owns some businesses, so she obviously was working every day. But yeah, it's interesting to find out how all that played out, especially for the artist. And it's so tough if this is all you do, and then all of a sudden your world comes to a halt. It's like, what now? You know?
Yeah, it's like having everything that you know put in a jar at a cabinet that you can't reach. And there's no way that you know when or how you can open it. And so you're kind of stuck in this, like almost feeling like a little kid, like when can I grab the thing that I want the most kind of thing. It was tough. It was definitely, there's many nights where, and at the time my boyfriend was actually deployed. So it was lack of communication there because there isn't a place to communicate there. And then trying to figure out and navigate this thing in the world that none of us have ever been through before. I honestly I think everybody deserves a huge pat on the back for getting through it.
Well, I thank your boyfriend for his service, number one, and number two, with him being deployed and you being a musician, did the music help you get through those long periods without him?
Oh yeah, I think in the beginning I was very much thinking I would spend what was supposed to be 6 months just really busy. I was gonna jam pack as much thing into a day. I was supposed to be touring, supposed to be doing all these things. There's no way that I would have too many down moments to think about a whole lot. But then pandemic hits and there was a lot of downtime to think about a lot of things. And it just became, music, like many other times in my life, just became my leaning post of where I put everything down and sat next to and wrote songs.
We have Deb and I have a lot of artists on, and they talk about being an independent artist as opposed to being tied down to a big label.
Right.
Would you, do you thoroughly enjoy just being an independent artist, or would you like to see yourself under a major label someday?
I think the goal is to hopefully get to that point at some point, but I'm one of those people that I think work needs to be done before you can get to like the holy grail of the moment. For me, I feel like I have a trail to pave on my own and I have, things to put under me that I need to do first before I can get that. I firmly believe that hard work gets you where you need to go. And so for me, it's a independent, and I'll work my tail off as an independent, and I'll work my tail off if I get signed one day too. I don't think the objective ever changes, for me at least.
No, probably not. But go ahead, Deb.
No, I would say a slow climb is actually better anyway, because you really appreciate every moment. And if you're doing all the hard work right now, if you have maybe a label later and you have a different team, you kind of respect what they're doing. And plus at that point, you know what you want done because you've done it.
Exactly.
And it's going to be the way you'd like. So,
right.
But sorry, go ahead, Skip.
No, I'm taking it all in. I don't know if you're still there or not, Deb.
I'm fading. I know. Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. We know you're there.
No, I
you know me.
That's right. It's a bad hair day anyway, so you don't really need to see me. So.
Oh my gosh.
I drive him crazy with that stuff.
Yeah, sometimes it sucks being the only guy on this podcast. Let me tell you. I'm just saying. But no, it's all good. And having the music and all that, is that let's change it up here a little bit. Your website, DariannLeigh.com.
Yes.
What can we find on there?
Oh, you can find all of my social media links. You can find what shows are happening in your area. If there's live streams that you can catch, you can find all the cool things going on, as well as all my streaming platforms. You can get your links to whatever your preferred streaming service is and listen to all the Dariann Leigh music you can get from there.
Nonstop.
And a lot of beautiful pictures, by the way.
Thank you.
I love it. So the new single is up there. You can hear that, right? Or they can download it or buy it and download it. I would.
Yes.
Yeah. How many hours a day do you think you spend on your social media? Because that's so important, right?
It is. It really. I mean, it's something that I try to take a note of, like take a step back now and again, just because you want to step into the real life still. But if I were to look at the hours on my phone, because you can do that these days and see how much time I spend on each.
Maybe you don't want to do that.
No,
yeah.
I purposefully don't do that. I did it once during quarantine where obviously everything was much higher, but I quickly realized I probably don't want to do that again. But I know I spend more than 3-4 hours a day on social media, just doing the social media stuff.
Wow, that's amazing. Your song is amazing.
Thank you.
You've been great since the get-go. But everyone still keeps getting even better. I don't know if hopefully that makes sense.
Oh,
it's always been great. But then these are even like, wow, look what she's doing. This is great. So yeah, absolutely. Now, when do you think you're going to be hitting Nashville? You said February. You're going to be home until then, or are you
playing out a lot? And I mean, it could be a move sooner. I'm one of those that I like to be planned because I know that things should be planned, but I'm also completely game to just next month. Cool. Let's do it. You
have to be spontaneous though in this business.
Exactly.
As well as a planner, but have that flexibility.
And what do you, the mom and dad and the family, they're all behind you moving to Nashville?
Yeah, my dad is really excited about it. So is my mom and my brothers. But my dad always talks about how excited he is just to be able to spend more time there. Because he's not always able to go with when I go. And he loves just going from place to place and hearing all the singers and just kind of taking in the live music. That's always been his thing. So he loves that.
Now, I've seen Lori on here before.
Yes, that's my mom.
I
Hey,
thought
Mom.
so. That I thought so. And she said that you're going to get some publicity with your hat on Field and Stream magazine. Just got word the
Oh.
winner of trap shooting is wearing your hat.
Yes,
Very
my little
nice.
cousin.
Sweet.
My little cousin Alex he does trap shooting. He just graduated high school
wow.
this year and he won. He's done very, very well throughout. He found his niche and he has soared and it has been so fun to watch. And he's always been the cousin that's the sweetest human you can find. And so seeing him find his thing and soar has been so special. And he was wearing my Dariann Leigh hat.
I love it. Oh my God. I'm going to have to pick one up.
Yes, I was talking to my aunt and she said he wanted to make sure that it was in the photo and that everybody could see it because he's proud of it. And they said that apparently when you hit 100 straight, they throw it in the air and everybody shoots at it. And I said, when he hits 100 straight, I will have another hat ready for him.
That is so awesome. I love that. Cool. You see, that shows the support of the family, you know, and that is so important in what you're doing. Because you have a lot of ups and downs, but you always got the family there to go back on and talk about things. And you seem to handle it very well.
So, yeah, my family's been really, really great to have. And even if it's just when you're like with COVID, you learn very much so how much you need those moments with your family or your friends, whoever it might be. And it's been really special to have them backing all of it. And my Uncle Nathan, which would be Alex, my cousin's dad, he works at a hospital, and when it comes to a new song coming out and we need pre-orders and pre-saves, he's handing out ice cream for a pre-order and pre-save. I mean, my family does it all and I'm so grateful for
Oh wow, that's
they're
cool.
so supportive, and I consider myself really blessed for that.
Did you get one of our mugs yet?
No, but they look really cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have when we sign off tonight, you know, just hang on and I'll get everything I need to get, and we'll make sure that you and your mom is so sweet. I remember her from before, so you make sure you tell her we said hello. But she's definitely cool. So what's next for you? You got the song coming out, and just gonna wait and see what it does, or
10,000 Miles, it's been released. The music video hit CMT, and that one's been really special to see, and just to be able to tell people that it's hit CMT has been really cool. And just seeing it do its thing, it's kind of, I've learned throughout my time with working with music that you can put a ton and a ton and a ton into a lot of music, but this one I felt just a desire to just release it and let it do its thing. And it's been really rewarding just to see the vulnerable response that it's gotten, because it was written in such a vulnerable place, and to hear people genuinely relating to it in any situation it's been really cool. And playing shows, getting back on the road still, and
love it.
Happy to be doing it.
Do you know when that video is going to play on CMT? Do they give you an idea, or they just tell you it's in a certain rotation?
It was actually, I guess it would have been 2 weeks ago now that it played.
Okay.
So it was really cool to see it. It was on Cmt.com, so it was on their video section.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was really cool to be able to type in and you're right there.
There it is.
It's so surreal. It's so crazy.
And how hard is it to get a video on Cmt.com?
It's difficult. It's taken a team to kind of help me get to that place. And I've been able to get 3 onto there, which is so cool.
I love it.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and the whole family get together and watch it one time. Here it is.
Right.
Popcorn and the soda and the beer, and look, there she is.
My 3rd grade teacher played it. My first one, Closer, when that hit CMT, she played it in the classroom, and the para sent me a picture of it, and that just warms my heart because it's.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's great. Dariann Leigh, you've been awesome. It's good catching up with you. We're very proud of the new song that you have out there, because it's really it's tremendous. It's just they just keep getting better, and it's great to chat with you again. I don't know where Deb went.
Oh, I'm kind of still here. You can see my hands.
I got to tell you, you know, I'm the geek. I'm the one with all the toys. I've got the lights. I've got the table. I've got the microphone. They keep saying, Deb, you're going to build that studio. And Deb's like, yep, I'm building it in my basement.
I'm working on it.
Dariann, that was a year ago.
Yeah.
All right. That was a year ago.
Before COVID. We were supposed to start this during COVID.
I'm just saying. All right. So I even gave her a microphone. I gave her a light. I did all. Do you see it? No.
I'm halfway there, but I was halfway there about 3-4 months ago. So now I have to cross over and finish. So.
Oh my God. Well,
normally I'm not outside though. I'll have you know. Our viewers know. Normally I'm inside, but we have a birthday party going on.
Oh, it's real live stuff.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
Real live stuff, real live people, and every once in a while, skip happens.
Live
so darkness. I'm just saying, real live darkness. You're in the darkness. No, anyway, Dariann Leigh, you've been awesome. Say hi to everybody for us, and we look forward to catching up, hopefully in person. It sounds like we're going to have CRS in person. I know they've already been advertising it, and I'm just waiting to get my registration. So hopefully you'll be there as well, and we can hang out and say hello. And
heck yeah,
we can sit on a floor somewhere and write a song.
Right. There you go. Sounds good to me.
All right. It sounds good. Dariann Leigh, that is our guest here tonight on Skip Happens. And of course, Deb, why don't you give all your information for the fan club?
Hey, check out the official Country Music Fan Club at Facebook, the official CMFC. And Dariann, if you get a chance to follow us and we'll follow you back, we love to promote new music for our artists and
absolutely
get exposure out, get our fans to get to know you and your songs. And we're on Instagram and Twitter.
There's a voice coming out of the darkness.
Yeah. It's there.
Sorry, that was creepy. No, never mind. No, I was using my voiceovers. Never mind. There's a voice.
He does that well.
She lurks on her patio. I don't know. I don't hear the husband cutting the grass. Those things are good.
Not tonight.
No. That's a true story, Dariann. Yep. We went out one night and I heard us.
He swore to me, I'll stay in the front yard. You'll never hear me. I'll do the back first. Well, we heard him up, down, and all around. I was so embarrassed.
Oh, man.
That's where we really started realizing, we're live and we have our issues. We've had other people had their dogs jumping all over the place.
Right.
Kids are popping in the background. Parents will sneak up behind their kids.
Right.
We've had it all.
Yep. And it's called Skip Happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, it does happen. Dariann Leigh, everybody. Dariann, you've been awesome. And again, if you're watching this, whether you're watching it live or you kind of see this down the road a little bit because it's posted on YouTube and our Facebook pages and all the good stuff, make sure you check out her music, buy it, download it, support it, the independent artist. It's one of the most important things you can do is support people like Dariann Leigh who, they're living their dream. It's their passion. And of course, right now we all know what life is about. It's pretty tough. So if you can support them, please do so. Dariann Leigh, it's been awesome seeing you. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for having me back. This has been so fun.
Hey, we'll have you back when you tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow.
You got me.
I'll be inside then.
Yeah, maybe. All right, Dariann Leigh. Dariann, have a great night. Thank you for joining us.
You too.
Good night, everyone.